So now that you have your mindset right, I want to share what I believe is probably one of the most important foundational processes that we have in the Sell Well way. And we can teach you a lot of things about growth strategies and different methods on how to do certain things in the business, but when and how you execute those is very, very important to the actual outcome of those results. So what I want to share with you now is what we call our morning 90, and it's how we dedicate the first 90 minutes of every day to actually focusing solely on growing our business. And it was a real big mindset shift for me because every waking moment of my business was going out trying to prospect for new business. And I found that it was sporadically sort of placed out during the day, but nothing was really focused and dedicated to solely focusing on that. And so what we sort of developed was this morning 90 strategy. When we're at our best, when we're feeling our best, that's when we focus on what's the most important thing in our business, which is really growing and generating new opportunities. So I want to walk you through how that process works. It is also one of those things which is open to you to make some changes, to really find your own unique way of doing it. And so to break it down, how it worked for me was this. My day effectively would start at 10 o'clock. Now that doesn't mean that I get out of bed at 10 o'clock and have a wonderful sort of late start. What that means for me is that every appointment that's relative to my business starts from 10 o'clock onwards. And from 8:30 to 10 o'clock every day, I did nothing but focus on growing my business. Because we need that time to be able to focus when our head's in the right spot, when we've got our attitudes at our best, and hopefully everybody that you're trying to connect with, they're sort of having a good start to the day as well. Where I see a lot of realtors, they'll come back into the office at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon after a really tough day, and that's when they try to do their growth activities and prospecting. And quite honestly, you're just not putting yourself ahead of the game. All you're doing is using it as a fill-in opportunity, hoping you're going to get a result. This strategy will really force you into making sure that you spend the right time doing the right things, and it's a non-negotiable that you have in your calendar. So the 90 minutes, how you set yourself up for it is super important. The preparation is the key as well. So when you start your 90 minutes, that doesn't mean that's when you go get a coffee and start talking to your friends. I like to get all out of the way first. I have a timer. And so it starts at 8:30 and at 10 o'clock it's a hard stop. And that 90 minutes is designed to focus solely on growing. A couple of tips I'd love to give you though is don't sit there and do the same thing over and over again. I like to mix it up, maybe 5 calls to my past clients, 5 calls to my sphere, 5 calls to some open home contacts. And that's so that I can be having different conversations and keeping it a little bit fun rather than getting into that boring momentum of making the same phone call over and over again. Because like anything we do in our business, if we lose motivation for it and it starts to become really, really boring, we start losing a lot of interest in actually performing the activity. So mixing it up is mainly for you, just to keep it exciting and to keep a variation of conversations happening. Another little trick that I used to like doing as well is the last 15 minutes of my morning 90, I used to use that to plan. And what I would do is I'd look at everything that was in my calendar and was I prepared for it? Could I have done any more preparation? And now that I've still got a little bit of time up my sleeve, it gives me the opportunity to have a look at and see if there's any extra steps I can take to help me elevate the conversion process of whatever I'm doing. So if it's a listing appointment, do they have the pre-listing kit? Is there anything I know about the client? Can I put a little bit more effort into the client profiling? It's really just about making sure that every time I approach an opportunity in my business, I'm as well prepared for it as I possibly could be. And the morning 90 was that strategy that enabled me to be, quite ironically, selfish, which was focusing on me and making sure that I could provide my clients the best version of me during the day, because I was focusing on what was really important was the growth in my business. But I highly recommend you mix it up. This is not an hour of sitting down calling expired listings or expired leads and things like that. This is about focusing on things where you can control the income, mix it up a little bit. Another great tip is to use the scorecard that we have, and the scorecard is designed to show you how to work on certain things that if we know that you have them consistently in your business or produce results. So maybe use the scorecard to pull out 5 or 6 things that you can do in your morning 90. And if the 90 minutes seems overwhelming, maybe start with 30 and then start to gradually increase the amount of time that you spend on it. This is not only a very, very powerful exercise to bring in some growth strategies, but it's also a very, very powerful habit to teach yourself in running a successful real estate business. Because it's very easy for us to get busy, lose our focus, and then stop doing the things that have made us successful along the way. Morning 90 for me was one of my absolute non-negotiables. It's Monday through Friday. It's not on the weekends. So start your business 8 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday. Do your growth activities until 10 o'clock and then get on with your day.